oral care products like dentifrices as well as mouthwashes and your whitening of the teeth. So generally the oral environment of your tooth is having the different problems, or the tooth is facing different problems because of the development of the plaques. So here, when the plaque is develops, it is due to the presence of bacteria, and that bacteria releases the acid, and because of that acid, plaque is produced, and it will causes the lesions on the enamel, that is the protective layer of your teeth. So whenever it develop the problems or the lesions on the enamel, then it really leads to the causes of the various cavities, and finally it can cause the decay of the tooth as well as the problems in the teeth. So ultimately it reduces the life of that teeth. So to avoid that one, we can have the different types of toothpaste which can have the power to stop the such kind of development of plaque, and then they can strengthen the life of your tooth by strengthening the enamels. So here when you are using the such kind of toothpaste, generally this kind of toothpaste will try to neutralize the presence of acid, and then when the acid is neutralized, then it can stop the degradation of the enamel, and it will stop the development of the lesions, and ultimately it will stop the development of the cavities. Now, whatever the toothpaste you are using, what are the components or the contents of that toothpaste? So normally your toothpaste is also referred as a dentifrice, or the products which are utilized for the cleansing purpose. So they are called as the dentifrices. The examples are nowadays toothpaste, then tooth gel is there, tooth powder is there. Generally, the toothpaste is colloidal suspension of mixture of ingredients that must be carefully balanced in order to provide efficacious, safe, and consumer-friendly product. So this toothpaste is nothing but the thick semi-solid preparation containing the mixture of number of ingredients, or in another way we can say it is the sometimes thick suspension also, or sometimes it may called as a thick gel also for the cleaning purpose. Then some considerations are there regarding the your toothpaste. First thing is that whatever the toothpaste you are using, so it should provide the safety environment. It should be effective one. Then it should have the controlled foaming ability. Then it should have the very good abrasiveness, as well as it should have the good consistency at the last utilization of that product. Then it should be consumer friendly. That consumer friendly means it should have the pleasant taste, ease of use, easily it should be removed from your tube, as well as after the brush or after utilization, it should give the pleasance or as well as the pleasure to the ultimate user. Then it should have the minimum 1 year half life, easily dispensable. It should be compatible with the your packages, as well as it should be efficacious, as well as it should be safe one. Then toothpaste ingredients are there. Generally in toothpaste you have the abrasive agent, binding agent, humectant, sweetening agent, flavoring agent, surface acting agent, and any other active ingredients means drug as per your requirement. So this abrasive agent is nothing but utilized to clean your teeth, or it can act as a brushing action on your teeth. Then binding agent is added to bind all the ingredients. Then humectant is added to maintain the required moisture. Sweetener is added to give the sweet taste. Then flavoring agent give the flavor. Then surface acting agent give the uh, cleansing action, or it support to the abrasive agent to remove the stains. Then one by one we'll see the functions of that ingredients. Generally, abrasive agent is used as a polishing agent. So the it function is that it cleans and polish your teeth by giving the friction on your teeth. Generally, a 20 to 50% concentration of abrasive agent is added into your toothpaste. Generally, it is solid in nature as well as it should be insoluble. So most of in abrasive agents we are adding, they are insoluble particles and they are abrasive in nature. It means it is having the sharp edges. Then potentially it is utilized for the fluoride interaction in case of the calcium salts. Then examples of these abrasive agents are silica, phosphate salts, carbonate salts. So in the silica we can have the organic softener version. In phosphate salt, that is dical. Then in carbonates, calcium carbonate or chalk, it is utilized. And carbonates are having the minimum eroding property. Then chalk or precipitated calcium carbonate is also utilized. Generally, this chalk is prepared by the double decomposition of the calcium chloride and sodium carbonate, as well as dicalcium phosphate. It also utilized. Dicalcium phosphate is low in abrasion. It is incompatible with the most of fluorides. Then silicas are utilized as your abrasive agents. There are the two types of silicas we are using: abrasive silica and thickening silica is there. Abrasive silicas are utilized, uh, are having the dense properties and they are relative non-absorbent and odorless as well as the tasteless. Then thickening silicas are small size particles with very large surface areas. They are capable of swelling and thickening the paste. Then binding agents. Binding agents we are added in formulation to hold your all formulation at one place. So it is used to stabilize your toothpaste as well as it prevent the separation of your all the particles from the liquid to solid, as well as it can be utilized as a natural as well as synthetic agent. Then there are the so many binders are available. Generally, natural polymers, synthetic polymers, and other type of material can be utilized as a binding agent. Then humectants, I have already told you that it is added into the paste to prevent the loss of water. Then types of humectants are glycerin can be added, sorbitol can be added in 70% concentration, polyethylene glycol, xylitol, then propylene glycol can be added. Then sweetening agents like sodium saccharin, sodium cyclamate. Sweeteners are providing the sweet taste as well as they are increasing the flavoring action. Then flavors are added to improve the flavor or the taste of your product. Generally, minty, fruity type, medicinal type, and cinnamon type of flavoring agent can be added. So, surface acting agent. Now, the surface acting agents are another most important ingredient into your toothpaste because they are producing the foam as well as they are helping to the removal of your debris as well as the it will emulsify your stains and it will try to remove your stick material from your surface of the teeth, as well as it reduces the surface tension between the dentifrices and the mouth plaque, and it increases the penetration of your toothpaste between the cavities and the gums. So by this way it is helping to remove your plaques as well as the it will remove the that material which is fixed between the gaps of the teeth. 0.5% to 2% is the given limit of that surface acting agent. Generally, sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium N lauryl saccharosinate, sodium dodecyl benzoate sulfonate, PEG oil, that is polyethylene glycol oil, can be added as a surface acting agent. Then sodium fluoride, sodium monofluorophosphate, and stannous fluoride can be added as a fluoriding agent into your toothpaste. Then some anti-caries dentifrices are there. That is, we are added to avoid the your carrying caries property of your tooth. Then anti-caries agents like sodium fluoride, sodium monofluorophosphate, stannous fluoride as added. Some other ingredients are there like tartar is there, polyphosphate and zinc citrate is there to increase the coloring activity as well as to remove the plaque of your teeth, as well as we are adding the some ingredients to avoid the plaque and gingivitis. The gingivitis is the most problematic problem into your teeth, which is causing the bleeding of your teeth. So for avoiding the gingivitis, we are having the triclosan, uh, chlorhexidine, zinc citrate. These are the ingredients which are added to avoid the gingivitis as well as the plaque of your teeth. Then some desensitizer is there to avoid the sensitivity of your teeth for the cool as well as hot substances. So potassium nitrate is a choice of ingredient is added into your paste if it is required for the sensitivity purpose. Then whitening agent is added. Whiteners are added to give the extra whitening effect on your teeth like calcium hydroperoxide, hydrogen peroxides. So these are the most important agents. Whenever it is required, then only we used to add it. Otherwise, in general toothpaste, we should not add the whitening agent as well as desensitizer as well as plaque or gingivitis agent as well as tartar. So these agents are when added, so that it will make it as a medicated toothpaste. So when it is required, then only we should add it. This is the one typical composition formula of your general toothpaste like humectant, water, binding agent, abrasive agent, flavoring agent, sweetening agent, surface acting agent, and fluoride. Then mouthwashes are there. Generally, these mouthwashes are utilized for rinsing of your mouth whenever it is required. So, in detail, we will see again the types of mouthwashes. But here we are utilizing these mouthwashes for just different type of purposes. That is cleaning of your teeth, to avoid the decay of your teeth, to stop the bad odor of your teeth. Generally, whenever you are going for the any microsurgery of your teeth, during that bleeding will be occurred, and due to that bad odor may be developed, or to stop the bleeding or to avoid the development of microorganism, as well as due to the microorganism bad odor may be produced. So to stop all those things, we are utilizing the such kind of mouthwashes or the oral rinses are there. Generally, it contains the surface acting agent, humectant, ethanol, coloring agent. So depending on your requirement, we can add the any medicated agents also like antiseptics. In case of mouthwashes, we can have the alcohol, flavoring agent, humectant, surface acting agent, and special ingredients like antibacterial agent, as well as astringents, then chlorophyllenes and fluorides. Now, another concept is given in your syllabus, that is the bleeding gums and their reasons. Generally, bleeding gums, I have already told you that it is arise due to the swelling or gingivitis, that is the inflammation of the gums. There are several reasons which can cause the bleeding gums. Sometimes there is the lack of the vitamins also can cause the bleeding gums. So generally, when we are having the some such kind of bleeding problem, so it can arise due to the switching to a hard bristled toothbrush also. When you are using the hard bristled toothbrush, and because of that, it can cause the irritation of your gums, and it may lead to the bleeding. Another some reasons are there that some people give the pressure while brushing. So this brush is sometimes hard, and it can cause the removal of the we can say upper layer of your gums, and it can cause the we can say hard friction and irritation of the gums. And after the some days, suppose the same procedure we are repeating daily, then it can cause also bleeding. Some people who take the blood thinners, like in your BP patients, we are giving the aspirin as a blood thinner. So it is also can cause the your bleeding of the gum. So such kind of problem maybe are there, that is bleeding is takes place due to the other reasons. So this is the related to your bleeding. Then another problem is regarding your pregnancy phase of the woman. some women which are pregnant in that pregnancy can have the gingivitis type of problem. So very rarely it is causes, but as the uh, after some period pregnancies disappears, or after the termination of that pregnancy, this problem is automatically resolves. Generally, in this pregnancy stage, due to the hormonal imbalance, it can cause the such kind of gingivitis. During the stage of this plaque, when the plaque is removed during a normal tooth brushing, so if you are not properly brushing, then the plaque which is present on your teeth, it may deposit at the bottom, and it is catched by the gums. And after the routine process, accumulation of the gum, your accumulation of this plaque by the gum is takes place routinely, and because of that also, that plaque will cause the irritation of that gum, and it may lead to the bleeding. There are several types of uh, toothpaste are there, or the ingredients are there. We can add that ingredients into your toothpaste, and we can resolve that problems. The first problem is the anti-caries or the cavity protection problem. So for that purpose, we can add the sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium monofluorophosphate as a ingredient to avoid the anti-caries problem. So it can stop the such kind of problem. Generally, it contains the fluoride to stop the tooth enamel declarification, and it protects the teeth from the tooth decay and cavities. So the example of that paste is Colgate, which is a well-known one to all of you. Then another problem we have discussed, that is the plaque and gingivitis, which can lead to the bleeding. So this plaque and gingivitis is also major problem nowadays. Generally, we can use the sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosanate, zinc and stannous ions to prevent the such kind of problem. Then it can have the action, that is it is antibacterial and prevent the formation of the dental plaque. So example is the Crest Pro Health, that is the special type of paste is there. So this toothpaste is having the content of sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosanate and zinc and stannous ions. So it will preferred for such kind of bleeding problems. As well as tooth whitening is there. Tooth whitening means what? Some peoples are having the uh, decolorized tooth, or they are having the some creamy like teeth, and sometime there may be the chances of development of the stain, and because of the stain, teeth whitening is lost. So to cover the your that problem, we can have the tooth whitening, or we are going for the bleaching of the teeth, so to remove that unwanted stain, and we can resolve that problem, and we can achieve the again whitening of your teeth as it was previous one. So for that purpose, we are having the ingredients like papain, dimethicone. So these are the just few examples of the drug we can add into your toothpaste to impart the whitening effect to your teeth. So this kind of papain and dimethicone are having the higher abrasion value, and they can produce the more whitening effect on your teeth. The example is the Colgate, as well as the some other type of proclinical white as well as Colgate proclinical white. It is the example of that paste. So these are the different kind of ingredients we can utilize for the different problems. So this was, so tooth bleaching means to make your white teeth white one. So tooth whitening or tooth brightening is called as the bleaching of your teeth. The lightening of the color of the tooth through the application of the chemical agents or any kind of specific ingredient to oxidize the organic pigmentation in the tooth. It is called as the bleaching or the tooth whitening. Generally, degradation of high molecular weight complex organic molecules that reflect specific wavelength of the light responsible for the color of the strain into the lower molecular weight molecules. So these less complex molecules that reflect less light is called as the lightning. Bleaching is utilized to solve to solve the treatment of choice in conjunction with the treatment with the modulitis or to brighten the whole smile. Generally, bleaching was utilized previously in 1918, then 1958, then 1967. So this was the, we can say, very old era. Then nowadays also we are utilizing the whitening or the bleaching. Then in 1966 also, 1996 also, we have utilized laser tooth whitening technology. Generally, for the whitening purpose, we are utilizing the various kind of bleaching agents, or they are called as the oxidizing agents. Generally, when they apply it, they get oxidized with the your plaque or the stain on your presence on the surface of the teeth. Generally, they are very highly acidic one. Generally, it ranges to 3 to 3.5 pH, uh, 1 to 3 pH, and the concentration of this oxidizing agent we have to utilize as a 3 to 3.5%. Some carbamide peroxides are there, hydrogen peroxides are there. They are utilized for the bleaching purpose. The examples of carbamide peroxides are urea hydrogen peroxide, carbamyl peroxide, and poly and perhydrourea. Generally, lightening of the teeth is always, you can say, expected by everyone that his teeth should be very whitened one. But due to the some problems of the oral or due to the some habits, the whitening is always lost, as well as your normal age also affect on the whitening property of the teeth. Generally, this can be the improper whitening or the discoloration of the teeth may be improved by utilizing such kind of bleaching. There are so many types of this bleaching that we can achieve. Generally, to improve the aesthetic value of your teeth, we are using the bleaching. Generally, bleaching is done when there is the light enamel discoloration is occurred, or sometimes we are going under the tetracycline therapy, so that can cause also discoloration of the your teeth. Some endemic fluorescence is there, fluorosis is there, or loss of fluorides. It can cause also discoloration, as well as age-related discoloration is also there. So to hide all those things, we can go for the bleaching. Generally, this bleaching is takes place with very carefully because we are using the highly acidic material for the bleaching purpose. So for that purpose, the patient should be aware about these things that what can be happen. Generally, we have to aware your patient regarding the various consequences or some problems when we are going through the for the bleaching process. Generally, after the bleaching, so in future that bleaching may disappear and your normal color or the discoloration of the teeth may takes place. As well as we have to make aware them that after the bleaching what kind of care we have to take for the particular period. So prior to bleaching, we have to evaluate the color of your teeth, because suppose the color is very normal one. So why we should use the higher concentration of bleachers? If the color is too much dark or stain is too much, then only we have to utilize the higher concentration of the bleacher, or the more quantity of bleachers we have to utilize. Generally, prior to application of such kind of peroxides, so we have to first of all cover your gums with the protective creams. That cream will protect your teeth from your peroxides, because peroxides is a highly oxidative agent. When we are applying on the teeth, it may touches to your gums, and it may cause the problems of irritation. So that's why first of all we have to hide your remaining part of your teeth, that is gums, and then after covering with the proper layer of the your cream, then we can apply your oxidizing agent. As well as we have to inject the local anesthetic also to avoid the possible irritation. So by mistakenly your peroxide agents may touches to your tongue, it may touches to your gums, so it also touches to your cheeks, so it can cause the possible irritation, or the patient may not able to tolerate the such kind of irritation. So that's why we can inject the anesthetic agents also, and probably we should cover the your other parts, and we have to open only the teeth. Then 30% carbamide peroxide can be applied on your tooth surfaces for the particular period, like 20 to 50 minutes. Then within 15 to 20 minutes it will get dried, and then it will try to wash out. So this is the we can say case here before application and after application of this kind of preparation. So your teeth will become whitened. Generally, this before we have applied, after washing, what is the we can say effect? We can judge it. Then we can also apply the at home your bleaching preparations, but for that purpose we have to use the some covers, like plastic cover is there which is having the teeth shape. Then by taking your peroxides in that teeth shape cover, just you apply, or you stick that cover on your teeth, then it will avoid the we can say irritation of the other part. It is little bit easy to apply at the home also, we can do this one. These are the some applicators, like syringes are there. By the help of that syringes we can apply your preparation. Then another way is there also, that is alginate we can use. In this alginate we can apply this alginate on the teeth, and we can cover your teeth, and then after that it will give the we can say protection from your these bleachers. Then you remove the part of the teeth and you apply your material on your teeth, and remaining part like gums will be hided or covered with the help of these alginates. Such kind of models, molds also we can prepare with the help of alginates. And in this mold, first of all we will take the impression of your teeth, and exactly the what is the shape of your teeth by using these molds. Then we can prepare the tray of that teeth with the help of polymers, and then in that tray we can add the bleaching agents, and we can stick it to the again into your teeth, like this we can do. And we can prick the your solution with the help of these syringes, and then after longer period we can have the cleaning of that tooth. Then we will get the your whitening. Then there are some other ingredients are also there. We can paint on your uh, teeth with the help of brush. Then that is called as the varnish type system. The marketed product is called as the Viva style paint. Generally, it is insoluble in water, and it is washed out after we are applying it. It is not longer time purpose. Generally, it contains 6% carbamide peroxides. When we are applying such kind of paint, it releases the oxygen, and it lightens your teeth. This is the instrument. With the brush we can apply. This is the procedure of application. And after application, prior to application, generally we have to clean the teeth properly with the proper brush, and then we have to dry it, and then we have to apply that paint. This is the application procedure. One by one teeth we have to take for the application purpose. Then after the drying, we have to wash with the normal water. Generally, application procedure is that once daily for 20 minutes we have to apply it over a period of 14 days. Actually, it is taking the too much time that daily we have to apply it for 20 minutes we have to dry it, and again the procedure is we have to repeat it up to the 14 days. Otherwise, two times we can apply that paint on your teeth and we have to dry it for the 20 minutes, and the same procedure we have to follow for the 7 days. So within the short period, your teeth will get white. Advantage is that this paint is very gentle one. Generally, we can apply it at the home itself, as well as it is having a very smooth and simple operation. Very gently we can apply it. See, this is the applied paints. Then another technique is there, that is the radiographically also we can apply. It means previously we have to take the account of your teeth, that which teeth are affected one and what is the color combination of your teeth, and according to that we can take the radiograph of your teeth, and then we can get the exact idea that which color is required for your teeth, and according to that radiography it is utilized for the detection of the your status of the teeth as well as the peripheral tissues. So you will get the detailed idea about your teeth and its structure from the inside or downside. Then after that we can evaluate your tooth with the shade guide. So with the help of this graph, we can get the idea that which shade should be prepared matching with your teeth. Sometimes particular teeth we have to polish. For that purpose, we have to do this. Sometimes suppose you want to polish the one single type of teeth which is decolorized due to the any disease, so in that case we have to isolate that tooth and remaining teeth we have to hide, and only targeted teeth we have to colorize. So for that purpose, suppose only any specific teeth you are coloring, then its color should match with the other teeth. That's why we have to take the radiograph and we have to prepare the images, and then we have to match the color of the your remaining teeth with your targeted teeth. Then after making the combination of that color, then we can go for the coloring. By this way we can separate your teeth with the help of your alginates, and we can hide the remaining teeth, and then we can go for the coloring of that particular teeth. See, this is the one teeth is blackish and one teeth is normal one. Then after the giving the color, the blackish teeth has appeared the same color as like as other teeth. Then another new era is there, that is called as a tooth jewelry. This is not included in your syllabus, but even though we'll see just two slides are there. Nowadays, some people are preferring the tooth jewelry. Generally, they are attaching the small diamonds on the teeth. So this is the new techniques. So this is you can say diamonds are forever. That is, skies is called as a jewelry, or the this is one type of cosmetics for we can say fashionable teeth purpose. The medical expertise on cosmetic procedures are there. Generally, they are dentists are performing these operations to stick your jewelry on your teeth or the diamonds. It is costly one. Generally, we are utilizing the some bonds or the binding agents, we can say in your language. So these polymeric bonds are utilized to stick your jewelry onto your teeth. So previously we have to uh, add the some drop of that bonds on your teeth, and then like phosphoric acid 37% percent it is added on your teeth, and it will cause the one place on your teeth or on the enamel surface. Then after that we have to place your diamond on that particular place where you was applied that phosphoric acid, and then it will stick your diamond on your teeth. So by this way we can stick your material. Generally we are using the skies as a bond to stick your diamond on your teeth surface. So on the surface of the tooth we have to add the flavor composite, then we can add the skies, then we can stick your diamond. So this is the new era about your diamond jewelry. Generally in case of the oral cavity we are utilizing these mouthwashes for different purposes. In the mouthwashes we'll see the types of mouthwashes and their utilities. So we can define your mouthwashes as medicated liquid which is utilized for the cleaning of the oral cavity and treating the mucous membranes of the mouth, and it may contribute for the surface softening and decreased wear of the dental resins and composite material. So simply we can say this is the oral solution which is utilized for the protection of your mucous membrane of the mouth and also treatment of your mouth, and for the other purposes we can utilize this mouthwash. There are the different types of your mouthwashes, that is antiseptic, analgesic, anti-cavity, anti-allergic, antibiotic, hemostatic, then stereo mouthwashes, steroid mouthwashes, then hospital formulation purpose, Ayurvedic mouthwashes, and homemade mouthwashes. So these are the different class is there depending on the your ingredient as a medicated ingredient you have added or any specific reagent you have added. So depending on that we can have the different uses of that mouthwashes. In the antiseptic mouthwash we are adding suppose chlorhexidine, then it will protect your teeth and it will avoid the development of the microorganism. Analgesic mouthwash will avoid the toothache, or during the several microsurgery we need to stop the pain of your teeth. In that case also we can use the analgesic mouthwash. Then anti-cavity mouthwash will avoid the development of the cavity, like fluoride agent suppose you have added, then it will give the anti-cavity mouthwash. So on there are the different ingredients we can add and we can have the different types of uses. Now the advantages of your mouthwash. This mouthwash is solution, basically liquid in nature. So it is very easy to apply. It is economical one because no further process are required. Only dissolution of that ingredient is required into your normal water vehicle. Then that's why it is not that much costly preparation. As well as when it is rinsed with the help of your mouthwash, then it will reaches to your corner to corner of your teeth or in whole mouth cavity it will cover. So it is very easy to wash out your mouth. Some disadvantages are there regarding your mouthwashes. Actually, the mouthwash should not be swallowed one, but by mistakenly some people may swallow it, or it is very difficult to control that swallowing activity. As well as another disadvantage is that it should be used only as an adjunct to the mechanical plaque control. It means we should not depend on the totally mouthwash that it is removing the mouthwash, or we should not depend on its activity. Suppose we have prepared the analgesic type of mouthwash, then we have to take the supportive treatment also. Then only we will get the total, we can say, pain control. It does not remain in mouth for a longer time. Actually, once we have taken the mouthwash, then after few seconds we have to throw out it, because for longer period we cannot keep it in your mouth. It means for the second purpose it is utilized. Then certain mouthwashes contain the high level of concentration of alcohol from 18 to 26%. So it may produce burning sensation in your mouth. So these are the typical disadvantages of your mouthwashes. See, this is the one example of antiseptic mouthwash, chlorhexidine gluconate. It is available in the two concentration 0.12% as well as the 0.2%. Depending on your utilization or requirement, we can use the higher concentration. It is used for the anti-plaque and antibacterial purpose. Then mechanism of action, it prevents the pellicle formation by blocking the acidic group on saliva glucoproteins, and then it reduces the glycoprotein adsorption onto the teeth surface, as well as it also prevents the adsorption of bacteria cell wall. It is also having the antibacterial action. It is used as a bacteriostatics at low concentration and bactericidal at high concentration. Advantage is that it is very easy to apply. It is economical one. Then direction for the use. It is very easy to utilize your mouthwashes, but very rare. Few people are know the exact utilization. Generally, prior to utilization, that we should take the little bit amount your liquid or that mouthwash, and we have to rinse with the help of your normal drinking water for the 20 to 30 second, and again we have to spit out it or throw out it, and then again we have to repeat the same action two times, and the same procedure for 15 days we have to perform, then only we'll get the exact results. Then adverse effect like browsing, staining on the teeth. Brownish stain may be developed because of excess utilization of this hexidine. Then loss of taste sensation. Oral mucosa erosion may be possible. Then supra gingival calculus formation may be possible. Then protoid duct stenosis may be possible, and some people may experience hypersensitivity. Then another example is the triclosan, that is drug is utilized. The mechanism of action of the drug is that it acts on microbiological cytoplasmic membrane and causes the leakage of cellular constituents and cause the bacteriolysis. So it kills the microorganisms by disturbing the membrane. Then another one is the Listerine drug is there. It is also utilized. Then povidone iodine is very common one. It is not having the plaque inhibitory activity, but it can utilize as an antiseptic. Then analgesic mouthwashes are there. That is bendamine, benzidamine is there. So doses are like 15 ml in 15%, 0.15 concentration. It is hypersensitive in nature. Adverse effects are like local burning or staining sensation. Numbness may be possible, nausea, vomiting, throat irritation, as well as cough may be developed. Lidocaine is there. It is having the 5 to 10 ml dose for the adult, 5 to 10 ml, and for the children, one up to the we can say 1 ml per kg of that child. It is having the allergic reactions, anaphylactic reactions. Then anti-activity, anti-cavity mouthwash is there. That is hemostatic mouthwash. Tranexamine acid is there, which can be utilized. Dose is 5 to 10 ml. Then antibiotic mouthwash is there. That is tetracycline mouthwash. Then steroidal mouthwash is there. That is treatment for the oral lichen planus. Corticosteroids category is there. Then hospital mouthwash is there. Actually, this hospital formulation is called as the miracle mouthwash, and it is used for the mouth sores. Some Ayurvedic mouthwashes are also nowadays available, containing the Triphala Churna. Generally, they are preferred for the prevention of the or the healing of your wounds in your mouth, as well as it can be utilized for the healing of the nose wounds also and eyes wound also. It contains Himalaya. Another example is there, that is Himalaya Ayurvedic mouthwash. It is used as antibacterial. It is having the protection for the gum. Also, it prevents the halitosis. Then homemade mouthwash is there. Warm saline gargle solution is prepared by using the sodium chloride. That is 1/4 or half teaspoon salt we have to dissolve in 8-ounce glass of water. Then the same salty water or this kind of solution we can use for the washing purpose. For the sore throat also it is utilized. For the bleeding gums also it is utilized, as well as for the sores of the mouth also it is utilized. It is we can say traditional type of preparation we are utilizing. Then baking soda is also utilized. Baking soda neutralizes the odors in your mouth. It is having the alkaline nature, so it can neutralize your pH, and that's why it can stop the, we can say, plaques also. So finally we can say there are a lot of mouthwashes available in the market today. So depending on your requirement, you can choose the any one.